What's happening, Delco? I'm Rich Shane, and welcome to the What's Happening Delco podcast. Today, I'm joined by Beth Pierce and Owen Goryl of Restore Hyper Wellness. Beth and Owen, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Rich. Happy to be here.
Well, today we get to talk more about Restore Hyper Wellness. Dawn and I stopped by last week and got to see your immaculately clean, beautiful facility. Lots going on. What I want to talk about and introduce our listeners in Delco is about what is Restore Hyper Wellness.
Yeah, so Restore Hyper Wellness, actually based out of Austin, Texas. So the company's just about 6 years old and has began kind of expanded across the country. The idea behind Hyper Wellness is really everyone living their most optimal life. So our kind of motto that we live by at Restore is do more of what you love to do. So anytime people come in for their first time, we really just want to get to know them. What do you like to do outside of work? Do you have any kids? What kind of gets you out of bed in the morning? We want our services to be able to let you do more of those things just so you can live a better, healthier life.
Now, that's a lot to be able to do more and live a healthier, vibrant life. But what are some of these services that you offer at Restore Hyper Wellness?
So we offer what we call our core services, which would be compression, cryotherapy, infrared sauna, or red light therapy. We also offer in our medical department some IV drips, intramuscular shots. We offer biomarker assessments, which would be some blood testing, and NAD. And then on the aesthetic department side, we offer hydrofacials, circadian oxygen facials, and some cryoskin slimming and toning services.
You listed a slew of services, and that seems like a lot. And, it's like, how do you eat an elephant one bite at a time? What are some of the basic core services that people start out with? Or is there a package that you can start out with just some of those? And how do I wade through all those options so that I can be, do that life thing that I want to do and not have any inconveniences or obstacles?
Yeah, that's on us. That's really where we come in. So the whole team is trained on all the services. And when people come in for that first time experience, it's really those discovery questions, just getting to know the client, what they're looking for. From there, we're never looking to overwhelm people with all the services we have. We'll typically stick to kind of the 2 to 3 services that you're going to see an impact or a benefit from quick. Because the idea is we want you feeling better when you walk out so that you want to come back here and you notice those benefits kind of right away. But we always set kind of those clear expectations that this is an investment. I compare it to exercising and working out. Your body's going to adapt to these changes over time. So typically when people come in, let's say, for example, you come in, you have some lower back pain. I'm immediately going to talk to you about the cryotherapy and potentially like the compression therapy. The compression, we have hips that can kind of cover the lower back and it's going to be almost like a sports massage. And then one of those specialty services. So that might be the IV drip rehydration and getting some of those ingredients that are going to help you recover faster and feel a little bit better. So we kind of start small. And then as people kind of get accustomed into their hyper wellness routine, we'll kind of look at expanding into some other services to complement their needs.
All of these sound like these are futuristic services, but they're today, right? How did all this come about? I'm just curious as to how do you bring all these services or all these opportunities to the public? And we are in Delco, and this seems like something that is so opportunistic to take advantage of if you're in the area. Talk about some of these futuristic services and how they really get into the beneficial part of our overall wellness.
Yeah, I would say a lot of our services started out with either just celebrities or athletes. So if you've ever heard of compression, you might have seen that just on the football field. They'll put on some compression sleeves before, during, after the game, really help with some lymphatic flow. So a lot of this really started with those famous people, but Restore's mission statement is to make everything affordable and accessible to everybody. So we've, not only as our owners, but corporate team has really put together a price and memberships, packages, all different pricings that would be of most benefit to somebody. So that way they can afford it. On top of that, everything is franchise-based or corporate-based. So our store in general is part of a franchise. So within our franchise, we have Media, Plymouth Meeting, Paoli, Lancaster, Collegeville, Exton, and then soon to open up Center City, Warrington, and Greenville. So we are all over. So you can use your credits at any other locations you want to go to.
That's great to know. That it really is, because if you're traveling like I do with real estate, hey, I might want to go for an infrared, or I may want to do some of that compression therapy, or I might have time to do that IV drip to just boost everything that I'm looking to. I mean, this is the year 2023. This is the perfect time to really launch your year and to be super well, super fit, super healthy. We have so much we want to do in every single day, knowing these facilities are, pinpointed all over the area. But if you're in the Delco area, how do people find you?
Yeah, so we're actually located at the old Granite Run Mall. Our buzzword is always Panera Bread. You can find us right next to Panera Bread and sandwiched between Panera and Five Guys. You can come check us out there. You could always give us a call. You can stop by the website, restore.com. A lot of great information just on all the services, kind of the history of Restore, staffing updates, just kind of what's going on. You can book online. I always recommend people come in for the first time, just get a tour of the studio. There's a lot going on, kind of like we mentioned. So just come in, meet the team, and really see what our services could potentially do for you. And I just want to highlight, Beth made a point with the accessibility of Restore. This is really for everyone. We have kids that are as young as 2 to 3 years old coming in here for some of our medical services, to people into their 70s and 80s. So you don't have to be an athlete or a celebrity. Most of our clients are really just everyday people that again, they just want to feel better. And maybe they want to run a little bit faster, jump a little bit higher. But the whole idea is that you come in here and you feel better than when you came in.
Having taken that tour with the both of you, I can tell you it's exciting to the things that you're providing and you're bringing to the community for that first, experience. You mentioned booking online, but what happens if people just show up? Do they have time to see your whole store and see everything that's available? I mean, you've got merch right there too. So people can go out looking really stylish as well when they're done.
Yeah, they can definitely come in. We do take walk-ins, so appointments are not 100% necessary, but sometimes if you walk in, we might not have the space or capability to take you at that time. But if you're just coming in off the streets, you're like, what is this place? We're always able to give you that tour. It's about a 20-minute tour. We'll take you around. We'll show you everything we offer. And then we'll give you a plan that would be of best benefit to you based on your goals and needs.
For you, Owen and Beth, how did you come to this franchise, this opportunity, this improving and impacting people's lives? How did you find your way into Restore Hyper Wellness?
Yeah, so we have similar backgrounds, but my background was in exercise science. I was going to school for physical therapy, worked in like the fitness industry for a long time as both a manager and a trainer and nutrition coach. I actually came across Restore when I was living in Charleston, South Carolina. I've always heard of cryotherapy and cold therapy benefits, but I came across Restore and I was like, wow, this is something that it's accessible to people that aren't celebrities, aren't athletes. This can literally be anyone can go in and just experience some of these services. So I actually came into contact with our owners, saw they were opening a location in Media, have a lot of love for Delaware County. So kind of applied. And the first day I stepped into our studio in Paoli, I just fell in love with the mission. And since being here, there's been so many amazing stories, so many amazing people I've met. So really it was just, for me, more so just the affordability and accessibility that a lot of these amazing services have for people, being able to kind of be a part and make that wider impact on people's lives. That's really what drew me in.
Yeah.
How about for you, Beth?
Yeah, like you said, we do have similar backgrounds. I too went to school for exercise science, but I went the other way. I wanted to do occupational therapy. But after looking into degrees and different things, it's like, maybe this isn't, what I really want to do. So went online, found Restore, and was like, you know what, this sounds pretty cool. And I've never looked back since. It's been such an amazing journey being with this team. We always call each other family here. So it was definitely a decision that was on a whim, but like I said, I'll never look back. It was an awesome decision to become part of this Restore family.
Awesome. Oh, and you mentioned cryotherapy, and that's something that is not new, but it's not that old either. And for people that may have heard the term cryotherapy or, seeing other facilities that may be offering that, you touched on, you said these are benefits. What are some of the benefits of cryotherapy?
Yeah, so my joke is always that cryotherapy is like an accelerated ice bath without having to get all soaking wet. So our chamber runs at about negative 150 to a negative 160 degrees Fahrenheit, which sounds super intimidating, but it's a very dry, cold vapor. So when you're in there, your body goes into a natural fight or flight state. And when we go into a fight or flight state, there's a lot of benefits that come along with that. One's going to be just energy and metabolism. There's a lot of great skin collagen benefits as well to being in kind of that cold environment. But I would say the main benefit that people are coming in here for frequently is just really that decrease in inflammation and just boosting of overall recovery. So you're people that, again, they're dealing with low back pain, issues with joints, or they just really want to feel better. Those are the people coming in and doing cryotherapy most consistently. And we all want to feel better. So when you're coming in here and you're walking out immediately like, hey, I came in here, my low back was really bothering me. It's not healed, but it's feeling a little bit better. And that's kind of what we talked about with the investment. It's not something that's a one-time fix. We talk about kind of a loading dose of doing 10 to 14 cryo sessions as close together as you can in the beginning. But then I'd say on average, we see our clients coming in here 2 to 3 times a week. But definitely that recovery benefit, I would say, is the primary reason most people are using the cryo here.
What I'm really hearing from both of you is if you're intentional, if you're being purposeful about your wellness, this is something that you want to include into that overall wellness plan. And the idea is, look, for those that are creating a new wellness plan, lifestyle, however you want to characterize it into 2023 and haven't done any working out in a while, or maybe ramping up that physical fitness, those efforts, you're going to feel some soreness. You may feel some discomfort. You may find some things that didn't hurt before, or that inflammation that's popping up. And this is a great regimen. This is something you want to include in all that.
Exactly. Yeah, most of us are chronically dehydrated, so the IVs are a straight go-to for that. You're going to get a liter of saline plus 2 ingredients of your choosing. We have different micronutrients. We actually have 19 on our ingredient list. Our registered nurses are all the ones who administer those services, and they'll really give you a good recommendation of what's of most benefit to you, whether that be increasing the energy, any immunity boosting you may need, really whatever you come in for. We most likely have something to help you out for that.
There is a vast array. I mean, every time you both talk about these things, I learn something more. I get more excited. I get more interested into what you have to offer. I'm curious for the both of you, what motivates you? What gets you out of bed to come to work every day?
Yeah, I think we come into so many different interactions like throughout our day here, and we hear people that have so many different stories and backgrounds, things they're going through. I know for me, it's really just kind of that one touch point you can have in your day that made a positive impact. So it could be something as little as just a really great customer service experience. So someone comes in for their first time and they were intimidated about showing up here. Them just being educated on and empowered on some of the stuff that we have to offer, that they can now make their own educated decision on if it's something they want to invest their money in. To me, that's a great feeling, because information is power, and education. There's a lot of stuff out there that isn't always accurate, and there's a lot of confusion out there, especially with social media now. I just feel like my mission every time I wake up is just kind of really just to spread the word on what we do here and what we can do for you. So that's really my main goal.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't have said it any better. Other than that, I would say even like the team that we work with, there's been the same team since we started here. And if any one of us leaves, we're all going to cry. We're a family. We fight like, brother and sister here, but at the end of the day, we all do get along, and we work together as a team. We'll help to pick up shifts whenever needed and things along those lines.
Talk about Delco. Talk about what is Delco. What's your impression? How do you describe Delco to somebody that's never been here or doesn't understand it?
Man, yeah, Delaware County is just the best. It's really hard to speak on it unless you live it. I'm someone that's lived in California, Charleston, South Carolina, kind of all over the country. And I always come back to Delco. It's such a community. And it really is like one big family. And kind of to Beth's point, maybe sometimes you want to knock your family out, but at the end of the day, it's all love and it's coming from a really good place. And you feel that when you come into this location, whether it's the staff or the relationships we have with our clients, we all look at each other as family. And I think that's just such a great mindset whenever you're in the service industry, because I know for myself, if I'm making a recommendation to whether it's my brother, my sister, my parents, I'm always going to want what's best for them. So if everyone coming through our doors, I'm also looking at as family, then I know I'm always doing what I think's in their best interest. And I know that's something that rubs off on our whole staff. And I think that a lot of that's attributed to Delaware County. As funny as it says, it's an amazing culture here. You have so many different types of people from so many different types of backgrounds. You have people that have lived here forever and have Delco pride to the max. And then you have people that move here, and it's interesting, people that move here, they feel it too. And it's just a little bit different.
Yeah, I would say honestly the same thing. I mean, coming from somebody who isn't from Delco and travels pretty far every single morning to come here, he's a trooper for dealing with all of us Delco people, because we can be crazy. But they always say if you move away from Delco, you're going to come back, and it's definitely true, because it's just one of those places where home is where the heart is, and this is where the heart is in Delco.
I love that. That's a t-shirt right there. That's a great one. I love that guy. I know we're going to talk wellness today, or we have been talking wellness today, but you have that cheat day and opportunity and you're looking for a cheesesteak. Where are you going?
Oof, that's a tough one. I'll get yelled at if I say Geno's or Pass. Mine's always been D'Alessandro's personally. That's always been my good go-to. Being someone that's lived, like I said, on the West Coast, I appreciate all the cheesesteaks in this area because there's some really bad ones out there. But I'd have to probably go D'Alessandro's. But I always think it's funny how much Geno's and Pat's get crushed for being the touristy spots. But I do think it's one of those things that if I have someone coming from out of town, I at least have to take them there just to see it. But then I'll get them to like John's Roast Pork or D'Alessandro's after that.
Yeah, mine's definitely Jim's Steaks. I'm one who actually doesn't eat cheesesteaks. I eat chicken cheesesteaks.
All right, that's all right. We get variations. Do variations.
Well, cheesesteak, right? So I'll normally go to Jim's Steaks actually in Springfield.
Now you've done that cheesesteak option. Where are you going for pizza?
Oof. Yeah, this is the tough one for me. So I'm actually a big fan, and it's a bit of a chain, so I don't want to get in trouble, but I'm a pizza purist. I love Anthony's coal-fired pizza. I love a good thin crust pizza that's cooked well done. Man, that's really, really tough. Angelo's in the city is awesome. Really awesome. I mean, their cheesesteaks are actually phenomenal too. Their pizza's great. Yeah, we have a lot of good pizza in this area. We're kind of spoiled. Again, after I lived in California, I kind of learned that pretty quickly.
I would say Chirino's in Springfield. It's a very little mom and pop shop, but I love it. I love giving them business, even to like the little mom and pop places. It's always nice to contribute to them, and knowing the owners helps a little bit too. So
okay, I love the balance. Now we haven't had Chirino's mentioned on any of the episodes, so that's a nice little inclusion there for people that want to check out a new pizza place and talk about that. Now you're on your way to work today, and you needed a convenience store option. Where are you stopping? Wawa or Royal Farms?
Oh God, that's not even a question.
That's Wawa.
Yeah, Wawa. Yeah,
it is a question. So just want to know what your answer would be. That's okay.
Yeah, Wawa's everything.
Yes.
You have people coming from out of town and you want to give them that Delco experience. Either you want to take them somewhere or send them somewhere. After they visited with Restore Hyper Wellness, what are you going to have them do?
I mean, depends on the time of year. I would say if it's fall, we're going to Linvilla Orchards and being pretty basic like everybody else. But I don't know. I mean, that is a good question. I mean, if you wanted to go into the city, we're now in Christmas time, so we could go to Christmas Village. Like I said, it's really like depending on the time of year. If it's summertime, I'm I'm getting out of Delco and I'm going down to the shore. I mean,
Well, it depends on what shore, but there are parts of the beaches in New Jersey that become Delco, and they should just change their name to Delco, New Jersey. I think that would be appropriate.
Yep, Wildwood is not Wildwood. That's Delco.
It's Wild Delco.
Yes.
I know you have an event coming up in January. Would you like to talk about that event a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So on January 26th, it's a Thursday. We're going to be having a lot of our business partners come in. And kind of when we talk about Delaware County and that community, part of it for me and Beth, that's really huge, is connecting with local businesses in the area. Our business is super unique and we do a lot of things that other businesses don't offer. But we know there's a lot out there that we don't offer that we see a lot of value in. So we're having an open house event to have some of our business partners come in to kind of show off what they do, as well as we want people, whether they're members, non-members, to come in and just learn about what we have to offer here. I just encourage people to be open-minded, come in with just looking to learn. We're going to go through all of our services with people that night. We'll have our nurses here, our estheticians here. Me and Beth will be here. We'll have some drinks, some food, some snacks, but it's just going to be a really nice time for people to get together, be in a nice place. There's a lot going on the last couple of years with sicknesses and whatever. Restore is really a good place to be right now. And I just encourage people to start prioritizing your health. Please be proactive. And if this is a good first foot in the door for you, come see us on the 26th. We'll have a lot of other cool businesses in the area here. And you'll be able to kind of try out any service, learn about everything, and ask some of the experts that work in the facility.
And I can tell you, with what's happening, Delco, we'll be doing some promotion of that event. I think it's a great opportunity, as you talked about, bringing in business partners, getting people to see and hear what you're doing. But don't wait. If a lot of this appeals to you, don't wait until the end of January to introduce these services into your life, into your lifestyle, and go and meet Owen and Beth and all the family there at Restore Hyper Wellness. Is there anything we haven't talked about on the podcast? Anything else you want people to know about you or Restore Hyper Wellness?
Nothing I can
social
think
media.
of.
Beth does an amazing job on social media, so I definitely want her to plug our Instagram, our TikTok, all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
All right, Beth.
Our Instagram is RHW_media. Same thing on TikTok, and then Facebook. We're just Restore Hyper Wellness Media. We post a lot of funny reels with all of our staff here in our downtime. We promote different discounts, different events that we're hosting. Sometimes you have to RSVP via social media. It all depends really what the event is or the promotion might be that we're holding that week or month. So definitely follow us on social media so you can take a hold of those deals and take advantage of them.
Yeah, and I definitely just want to mention, like, I always joke, like, we're a big unknown until you actually walk through the door of what goes on in here. Like I said, be open-minded. Like, we have a really fun group here. We would absolutely love for you to come in and tell us your story of what you do in your life. And we'd love to just help you feel 1% better. And we look forward to meeting more of Delco because we know how many awesome people live here. So we want to meet you all.
Well, I'm excited. I'm excited to learn that you're here and that these services are available. I can't wait to come in and take advantage of these things. I know what's appealing to me is the infrared sauna to work with the light. You know, we don't get all that sunlight right now, and I'm looking forward to adding that and some blood work to find out what I might be deficient in, some vitamins, minerals, and then take that to whether it's the IV or some of the other services. And 1% better, Owen. I just want to be 1% better. And if I could do that in a little bit of increments, this is going to be a great year for me. And I'm appreciative that you're both here and the family's here and the gang's here. And we're grateful that you're a friend of What's Happening Delco. And we can't wait to hear more about what's going on with you guys and all the great successes that you're helping people with in Delco.
Yeah, absolutely. We're very excited to be helping people be more proactive about their health journey.
Yeah, we'll have to grab an IV together sometime.
If we're doing an IV together, I want to add maybe some bourbon into that. We're going to make an old-fashioned cocktail. Thank you so much. Have an awesome day. Go change people's lives.
Thanks, Rich.
Awesome.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.